I have a friend. Let's call her Lisa. Everyone probably knows someone like her. Every friend group has that one person who seems to carry the light. She's cheerful, playful, always up for a joke or a last-minute adventure. If there's a party, she's there. And if there isn't, she finds a way to make one happen. Sometimes with a crowd, sometimes with just a speaker, a drink, and a few close friends who needed the night more than they realized. But Lisa isn't just fun. She's also the one who takes care of everyone. She works in care, literally. And when she's not on the clock, she's still looking after the rest of us. When someone's hungover, sick, heartbroken, or just quietly falling apart, Lisa shows up with tea, with food, with laughter. She always knows what to bring. And it's not just the things she carries, it's the way she carries people. And yet, even with all that light, there's something you can feel if you slow down long enough. It's not dramatic. It's not visible in the way she moves through the world. But it's there, in the way she asked me one day if I could help her figure out who she really is. Not what she does. Not who she is for others. But who she is when no one needs her. When no one's watching. When the lights are low and the noise is gone. Because Lisa has a lot of people around her. A lot of energy. A lot of motion. But she's still searching. Searching for what she wants. For what's hers. For what's true. Not just in the moments when she's laughing the loudest, but also in the quiet, curtain-drawn hours that no one ever gets to see. Lisa is someone who outruns herself. She escapes into care, into company, into the thrill of the unexpected. And she's been doing that longer than she realizes. Because when she's working, really working, in the field of care, she doesn't have to be herself. She just has to care, to give, to hold others together while leaving herself untouched. And when she takes care of us, when she shows up with food, humor, softness, it's no different. It looks like love. And maybe it is. But it's also a hiding place, a way to stay needed, useful, generous, without ever having to ask what she, herself, actually needs. And when she's at a party, she gets to play, to be loud, to sing, to dance, to act, to laugh so hard it echoes through the night. No one questions it. No one pauses the music to ask how she's really doing. In those moments, she disappears into a version of herself that's safe, entertaining, untouchable. And of course, there's always another course, another training, another retreat in the name of self-development. She always finds one. And for a few days afterward, it even feels like something shifted. She posts the quotes. She lights the candle. She says the words, but then life picks up again. And nothing really changes. Not deep down. Because learning isn't healing. And insight isn't integration. Not when it's still being used to avoid the real question. She forgets, like so many of us, that there is such a thing as being, not doing, not giving, not managing. Just being. Still. Quiet. Whole. We can run from that for a long time. We can drift far from ourselves and call it freedom. But one day, someone knocks at the door. And when you open it, you don't see a person. You see a mirror. And a voice, sometimes loud, sometimes just a whisper, asks the one question you've tried not to hear. Who are you? The real problem with running, with not knowing who you are, is that it makes choosing incredibly difficult. Not the surface level choices like which party to go to next or what kind of night to create for others. Not even who to take care of this time. Those decisions come easily when you're used to staying in motion. when you're wired to serve, to entertain, to keep giving. But the deeper choices, the ones that shape your life, those become almost impossible. Choices like who you want to grow old with, who your real friends are, how you spend time alone, not out of loneliness, but out of presence. What kind of life you want to build for yourself so that 10, 20, 40 years from now, it still feels like yours. Those choices demand more than momentum. They require a sense of direction, a quiet kind of certainty that doesn't come from others, but from within. And that's the part most people never taught us to build. The internal compass, the knowing of who you are, what you believe in, what matters enough to protect, and what's finally safe to let go of. Because without that compass, you drift. You end up in lives that don't feel like your own, in relationships that aren't grounded, in patterns that keep repeating. Not because you want them, but because you didn't pause long enough to choose something else. You keep moving, keep doing, keep giving, but you never fully arrive. And when someone finally asks you, "What do you want?" you freeze. Not because you don't care, but because you've never practiced answering from the center of yourself instead of the surface. What you wish for someone like Lisa, what you truly hope for, is that she stops spending so much of her life facing outward, that she stops confusing who she is with what she does, because she is not care, she is not laughter, she is not the party. Those are beautiful things, yes, but they are not identity. They are actions, expressions, roles, not roots. Even the next yoga or meditation retreat won't change that. Not really. Not if it's still another chapter in the same old story of running, only now with incense and intention. You know what might actually help? Opening the door for the mirror. The one that's always been there, quietly waiting. The one that doesn't reflect what you're doing or how well you're performing. Just who's left when all of that stops. And when that mirror speaks, not with judgment, but with presence, the only thing left to do is sit with it. Not for 5 minutes, not for the length of a playlist or a guided session, but long enough for something real to rise. Long enough for the noise to settle, and the deeper knowing to begin. And maybe, while she's sitting there, uncertain, breathing, beginning again, one simple mantra could help carry her through. I'm not what I do. I am not what I do. I am not what I do. I am much more than that.